I'm 82 years old, and I'm going to say something you don't hear very often. I don't believe in miracles. I believe in maintenance. I still live in the same house where I raised 4 kids and buried 2 dogs. I do my own laundry. I move on my own 2 feet. No cane, no walker, and no excuses. But here's what bothers me. The world keeps trying to convince people my age that we're fragile, like we're porcelain, like one wrong move and we crack. That's not true. You're not porcelain, you're cast iron, strong, durable, built to last. You just haven't been seasoned properly. And once you understand that, everything changes. Now, I wasn't always like this. Not even close. 12 years ago, on my 70th birthday, I felt like a discarded antique. My husband had already passed. The house felt hollow. Not quiet, hollow. Like sound didn't belong there anymore. I remember one morning trying to stand up, and my body just said, "Noba." My hips burned, not a dull ache, sharp, grinding pain, like crushed glass inside the joints. I needed surgery, but the worst part wasn't the pain. It was the look, that look of pity, the kind you give a dog that can't make it down the stairs anymore. I started doing what I called the hallway shuffle. I wouldn't lift my feet. I'd slide them along the carpet, because lifting them felt like risking everything, like I might lose my balance and lose myself with it. I spent hours just sitting, watching dust float in the sunlight, and thinking one thought over and over again. Helen, this is where you start disappearing. The walls didn't move, but they felt closer every day. The turning point didn't feel dramatic at the time. It came disguised as something I almost avoided. A reunion. I didn't want to go. I didn't want anyone to see what I had become. But I went anyway. And that's where I saw Margaret, same age as me, but completely different presence. She was wearing heels, moving easily, light, like her body still belonged to her, while I felt stuck. So I pulled her aside, quietly, almost embarrassed. I said, "Margaret, did you sell your stress, your problems? How are you still like this?" She smiled, leaned in. She smelled like lavender and something tougher underneath it. And she said, "Helen, most people treat their bodies like antiques." She paused. "You're not old. You're just unfueled." We sat in that loud ballroom for 3 hours. I ignored my dinner, let it go cold, and I wrote everything she said on the back of a paper menu. She called them the Fatal 5 rituals. I didn't change everything overnight, but I started here. Number 1, the brain nut. Walnuts, every day. "Look at them," Margaret said. "The look like tiny brains for a reason. Before that, I'd walk into a room and forget why I was there. Mid-sentence, I'd lose my train of thought. Now, my mind feels precise, sharp. I do the Sunday crossword in ink, not pencil. Ink. And I remember birthdays without checking a calendar. Number 2, the liquid gold. Ginger and turmeric tea. Warm, slightly spicy. It hits the back of your throat in a way that wakes you up from the inside. Margaret called it nature's WD-40, and she wasn't wrong. My hands used to be stiff, swollen, the knuckles thick and stubborn. Now they move. I can quilt for hours. No pain, no hesitation. Number 3, the memory berry, blueberries, fresh when I can get them, frozen when I can't. A handful every morning. They're bright, slightly sweet. They wake up your senses. Margaret called them armor for the brain. They support neuroplasticity. That's just a complicated way of saying your brain stays flexible. And at 82, flexibility matters. Number 4, the golden egg. 2 eggs a day, not just any eggs, the kind with deep orange yolks. That color means something. That's where the strength is. Eggs give your body choline and protein. Because as we age, muscle doesn't just weaken, it disappears. Unless you give it a reason to stay. These eggs gave my body that reason, and I feel it in my arms, in my legs. Number 5, the blood booster. Beets. Roasted. There's a smell to them. Earthy. Grounding. They open up your blood vessels. Improve circulation. Margaret called it opening the floodgates. And when your blood flows better, everything works better. Your brain, your heart, your feet. I noticed it on my walks. I didn't feel heavy anymore. I felt carried. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds nice, but I'm tired. I don't have the energy to start. I've already let things go too far. I understand that feeling. But your body is not a prison. It's a vessel. If you treat it like something broken, it will act broken. If you treat it like something worth maintaining, it responds. I didn't do this to live to 100. I did it to feel present. I stopped saying, I'm too old, and started saying, I'm taking this back. A few years ago, I joined a community garden. At first, I just sat there. But then I started helping, teaching small things. And they started calling me seed whisperer. Being needed changes everything. It gives you a reason to get up. Because if you don't have a reason, your body will find one to stay down. Find your version of a garden. Find your purpose. Every morning now I say thank you. For the breath, for the strength, I'm 82 years old. And I'm not an antique. And neither are you. Keep going. I'm rooting for you.